Hello, and welcome back to the SPA podcast, our students in Palo Alto. I'm Ingrid, and today I'm here with Rahil, Kirit, and Miss Julia Choi, or Mrs. Lee, here to talk about families in the media.
I think today's topic is really quite interesting, right? Because we all have our families that we spend time together with, but how many of you guys actually have your families expose you into the social media? I don't, not me.
Yeah, not me.
No, not usually.
Yeah, so I think all our families don't record us, right? So we're kind of how do you guys think it's like a lucky thing that we're not being recorded all the time, taking photos of that picture perfect look? I don't know.
I think it is a good thing that our families aren't recording us because I feel like it's a lot of work to have to act as like a different person to the camera. Like anytime someone's recording me, I always feel like I have to act a certain way. I can't act like my usual self. So I feel like it'd be hard for people to try and have a camera in their face every single second of the day.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
could
point.
imagine that too. I would feel like very, intimidated by the camera, intimidated by like society that's like other people are going to see me, they're going to see what I do, they're going to see my actions. So I'd be very scared, or not necessarily scared, but I'd be cautious of what I'm trying to say or what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's also more of the fact that, society has all of these expectations that they hold for like people who are usually seen on camera. And I definitely think that it's also human nature to want to compare people to others. So I definitely think that's also a huge factor into why not many people are actually essentially on camera so much.
Right, right. Yeah, I think you would think that just because people are like getting all that glory, right, that fame, maybe some people are just meant to be like famous, right, because they love it. But imagine having to be exposed all the time, like you guys said, no privacy, and I would start getting really uncomfortable just like wanting that space and there's like a camera in front of you all the time, then no, I don't think I can do it. Like sometimes let's just say you just want to sleep more, but you're just like, oh wait, I have to wake up and look good. So I think they always go like, I woke up like this, right? When they're always like, oh, I woke up like this, looking all perfect. It's like, that's not typical. Yeah. But I found like some of the top YouTubers, and it seems like there's the family called the Brandt family, the Ebby family, the Braithwaite family, the Shaytards, Daily Bumps, the Two family, the Ohana Adventure, and Sam and Nia. Like literally, when I search up top 10 family channels on YouTube, those are the families I saw. And so far, from what I've seen, they look like they're having fun. They look like they're having fun. So I'm not sure. Have you guys seen any of these families before?
Yeah, I have. When I was younger, I used to watch a lot of family vlog channels, and I think there are a lot of pros and cons to actually having a family channel. For like one con, for example, the kids might not get used to the fact that people are watching their everyday lives. Like as they grow older, they might get, nervous, or they might get scared that people are going to bully them or going to see them as like in a certain way of how the camera portrays them. And I think that's the thing that the parents who are making these channels have to take into account, that their kids are going to you know, have to deal with this when they get older, and it might be hard for them to make friends if they get too famous, and other stuff like that.
I beg to differ. I would say, like, well, here if you mention that, like, as people grow older, they become more self-conscious. I would say no, they don't, because I would feel that when people grow older, they get more used to the fact that they're like recording. They're used to that, so it's kind of like second nature, or repetition for them. So I feel like as people grow older, as people you know become more mature, they actually they don't feel self-conscious. In fact, they actually feel more like confident in recording, like they want to do it more instead of like backing down. I would feel that's more for kids, like they would feel like, oh, I'm a kid, I don't know how to do this as yet. But when you're older, like, yeah, I know how to do it, so I can do it easily.
I do believe at the end of the day, it just comes down to how the kids are raised in their family. I do believe that if the family has like values and they believe that, their safety is really important, I believe that, the families will do everything they can to make sure their kid has a normal life while still like having, I guess, fun in front of a camera, while more of instead that, if a family is very driven towards getting the money that they can make off of like YouTube and stuff, I definitely believe that that has a huge factor into how their channel and how the kids are being perceived.
Yeah, I actually have one family channel to talk about. They're called the Bucket List Family, and I think they are honestly one of the best family vlog channels on YouTube. So, what their channel started off as was they decided to drop everything that they had and go travel the world with their two children.
Wow.
And so their entire channel is basically just them vlogging these cool adventures that they get to have with their kids, like as they teach their kids to swim in like Hawaii, and as they go to India or Japan or like these new exotic places. And I think that's a really great channel because they're like introducing their kids to all this new um, these new cultures and everything that's so great about the world, and they're filming it so their kids can also rewatch these vlogs and say like, oh yeah, I remember when we did that, I loved that trip and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. That's really super cool how there's a bucket list family just showing off these adventures that they're going through, right? And I think it'll be kind of like a memory type of video vlog. Maybe it's solely purposely for just them, for their family, but then maybe it just kind of grew and then they just got popular, right? So what if there's just families who kind of did that? They just started from the beginning of like wanting to keep memories because children do grow up really fast, right? All you guys have been growing up super fast. And maybe parents started off like, yeah, I want to keep memories when they were like teeny little babies. And now, like, I think I saw one of the family videos where it was one of the son's birthday, and the dad was just like so excited. He's like, "It's your birthday! Oh my gosh, let's go celebrate!" And he had these like huge balloons, like where kids can just like hang on to it. They can kind of fly. So I don't know. Maybe it's like some kind of portfolio that they're just kind of creating like as like a memory type of zone. Yeah. How would you guys feel if your parents did that for you maybe when you started off as like a baby? If you think of it now, you know what I mean? Like you guys are old enough to make your decisions. So I think there are kids out there who where their parents have been recording them. Um, maybe they just did not have a choice, of course, when they were younger. But growing up, do you guys think maybe they'll change their minds and be like, yeah, I want my privacy now. It's time for change. And maybe they just start dropping out of the whole videos and, like, what would you guys do, I guess?
Well, to be honest, yeah, I agree with them. Like, I feel like it's a bad thing to like put people like out there in the world with the sense that like your your privacy is lost. Like, I wouldn't want my privacy to be lost. I mean, like, I would want to have a decent amount of privacy. I would want to have like 98% of my life to be private. I'm a very private person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, not very private, but I would say like to be that out there, like to be that much out there, I feel like family vlogs don't end at the family. I feel like when you're starting to do that, I feel like you believe that the family is, the entire YouTube that's watching all of your subscribers. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they would feel every single subscriber that they have is like family to them. They know them, but that's not true. You're only subscribing because you like their videos, or
Mm-hmm.
you you follow them, maybe you're friends with them, but you don't like you don't in you shouldn't have the intention to put people out there with like the intent that it's all okay because everyone who's seeing your videos are subscribers, so they know you. That's not true. And so
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between family vlog channels vlogging their like daily lives, as in like, hey, I'm gonna take the kids to soccer, and
Oh
this
yeah.
kid has a school play. And I think there's a difference between that and then family vlog channels taking private experiences from their kids and putting it in the title of a video for clickbait. I think that's not okay, especially filming someone's like personal experiences, like, and if they're having a talk with their son who misbehaved, or something like that. I don't think it's okay to put that in a video and have everybody see that, oh hey, this kid misbehaved.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it must be like, so I think this is kind of leading to the topic about trauma for kids, right? Just like them mentally going through stuff because parents are just exposing them out to the public. And as you all mentioned earlier, when you're kind of in front of the camera, you feel like you have to act differently, right? So what if mentally these kids are like, getting in trouble, right? Let's just say their parents are reprimanding them and you're just like looking and they see a camera and they can't really act crazy or go against their parents at that moment because they're like, oh my gosh, if I like act a little bit crazy or weird, even in this situation, the other people, the YouTubers, are gonna watch and think like I messed up. And I think that's the last thing that the kids would want to kind of make others look at them as. So the trauma from what I've seen in the research before was that I thought this was crazy, but half of the American children in the US, right, are they went through and experienced trauma from just many different things. And that's crazy. That's like 50%, right? So that means like 50% of our friends went through trauma, or who knows? What if we all went through trauma too? Right? So yeah, it's not a funny thing. It's just like, we're all just kind of like, we can't believe that 50% of the children have experienced trauma and it can be from anything. So I don't know. Have you guys seen anything regarding about this? Like maybe you've seen your friends kind of go through trauma, or um, whether it's with social media or not, right? Or, do you see like articles of, people or children going through trauma also?
I know that there are a lot of children out there who have suffered from, trauma, but I don't know anyone who has, suffered from trauma, and I haven't seen any articles about children who are, going through that. So I didn't really know that that was the thing, the statistics of that, how 50% of all the children in America have gone through that. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Right?
I did not know that either.
And isn't it shocking? My
That
gosh.
is pretty shocking. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
I think there are a lot of parallels between child actors and kids from family vlog channels. I know those two sound very different, but I feel like in some ways they are the same. For child actors, for most of them, their parents have put them in acting. So they don't
Mhm.
really get a choice as to whether to be on the screen or not. And so if they get, super famous as they grow up, their entire life is, narrated by the paparazzi, and everybody is talking about them. And I think it's kind of the same thing with kids from family vlog channels. Their entire life is being documented too. And I think that's it's not really the best, because I think we all know that a lot of child actors have been like, you know, not treated very well, and they're like kids from family vlog channels who kind of have are kind of in similar situations, with the fact that they don't really have a a life, a private life.
Mhm. hmm And sometimes it makes them feel like they don't even have friends, right? So because they feel like they're no longer connected to real friends around their school or anything, I think that's kind of why I feel like celebrities end up kind of becoming friends with one another, right? Because they can relate to each other more. But yeah, that whole privacy is no longer existing for them in their world. So I don't know, like the whole family YouTube, I think that's great, but if if I feel like if I did it, right, as like an adult speaking here, right? I don't have any children yet, but let's just say I created a family YouTube channel, right? I think I would only want to do it until they're about maybe like 5 years old, because after that, I would want my children to have the right to feel like, oh, do you want to not be part of the camera? Like, that's okay. Like they should be able to really think and understand, hey, I have a choice to be exposed or not be exposed. So then I think it's fine. We all agree if the YouTube channel for the families are positive and they do a lot of fun activities together. I saw this one crazy dad. He's a lot of fun, and it seems like he came up with these crazy game ideas that they just did at home, and so that was cool. But other than that, I would want my children to understand that they have a choice. They don't have to be forced into this, or else like mentally, like you guys are all talking about, they're gonna think, no, I have to do it. And the last thing as a parent we should do is brainwash our kids a certain way. You know what I mean? That's I see you guys laughing and smiling about this right now. But yeah, that's the last thing I would want my kids to go through, like brainwashing them and be like, this is the way you have to live your life. No, like I want them to have, the freedom. Yeah, the freedom. So um, yeah, I don't know. And I think I saw the whole issue about the also the 8 passengers family. I'm not sure what that is. Like I haven't really watched their videos, but seems like Kirith, you might have seen it before.
Yeah, there are a lot of videos actually addressing everything that's happened with the 8 passengers. So there's a lot to talk about within their channel. Um, I think first thing would probably to go over whether or not the 8 passengers is real or fake, because they made a YouTube video on their channel saying that their channel is fake and that they are actually a TV show. And sorry, but the problem is that they've been getting a lot of hate recently for something that they did to their son, and they have been addressing it as if they were an actual real family channel. So we're not really sure whether they're real or not, but um, they've been getting a lot of hate for what they did to their son, which is they made him sleep in a beanbag chair for like I think 9 months because he played a prank on his brother and they took away his bed.
Oh my gosh, that's like a safety, like health, like concerning issue for me as an adult. Like, what would you guys like it if you had to sleep in a beanbag chair? I if it's a nice one, maybe, but I doubt they gave him a nice one. Like if it's like a punishment thing, right? Have you
Yeah,
guys ever done that?
I think the punishment was quite extreme because I also feel like that's the thing between siblings. Like siblings pull pranks on each other all the time,
Yeah.
and that's just a sibling thing, you know? But like
Mhm.
taking away his bed for that long amount of time, that's just not okay.
That's not parenting, right? Is that parenting? I don't think that's fair. I'm pretty sure all three of you guys would get super mad if your parents did that.
Get really mad.
Yeah. Where I feel bad. What's the son's name? Was it like which
I think.
Chad? Oh man, poor kid. Like, and you have to put that on social media too. You know what I mean? That's so much exposure for like the weird punishment he's getting. Feel so bad for them. My
And
gosh.
I believe they also sent him away to like a wilderness rehab thing. where he was also forced to sleep without a bed for a long amount of time. And then when the eight passengers addressed the hate they got for making him sleep without a bed, they claimed that child psychologists told them that that is the best punishment for their child and that that is the correct thing to do. And
What? Wait.
oh, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Wait, seriously? A psychologist said that it is okay for you to punish your child by taking away their bed privilege. Like,
Not just that, they didn't you say he went to like a wilderness shelter?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it was, but yeah,
oh my gosh, poor kid.
Yeah, there
Uh,
were lots of reports about how some people said he was given an option that he could have slept in three different places, like either like a pull-out bed, an inflatable mattress, or a beanbag, and he chose the beanbag because he said it was the most comfortable. So,
oh,
like, but at the same time, this is what the mom and dad claimed. It wasn't what Chad claimed. And I believe if you look through lots of articles, if you just search up like eight passengers like chat abuse or something like that,
mhm.
like every single statement, it's not stating what Chad said.
Oh,
It's
wow.
only citing that he said he confirmed that he had to sleep anywhere other than his room, but he never was given the chance to say why.
Oh my
And I
God.
believe that I do think that, in my opinion, I do think that he has his own opinion on this, and it's not being documented anywhere.
Oh wow. Yeah, see, that's kind of not fair for like when there's actual we don't really know right now if this is really child abuse going on, but it sounds like it kind of is. And it's not cool how, kids don't have a say or that Ingrid, like you mentioned, there's no absolute, like, no document of him stating it, right? Like him himself. Jeez. So it seems like from my research too, right? This whole eight passengers channel, I think maybe out of all the family channels, this might be the only channel that is kind of in a negative direction, right? I feel like look at all these like people also ask, right, on the Google site, right? Why did eight passengers send Chad away? This is a weird question, but what age is Julie from Eight Passengers? No privacy, everyone. That is just not right. And then it goes into is Eight Passengers a real family? And I know, Kirith, you already mentioned it before, but um, yeah, just all of these questions are just super negative and weird. And let's just say, as a real family, would you want to be bombarded with all these questions of like, are you guys a real family or not? Right? Like, I don't think children would like that, but I don't know. For me, I would not, as also like, if I was a parent, I wouldn't like it if people are like, "Oh, you guys are a fake family." It would like make me feel sad because this is our family. But there's obviously a reason, right, that these people are questioning um, about the eight passengers YouTube drama going on. Like, I don't understand what's going in with them, but um, yeah,
yeah, there's, I don't,
By the way, Chad is 15 years old. Like that's old enough for him to make his own decisions, and yet
yeah,
he's like receiving this punishment.
wow,
And you were right. This like psychologist Mary, I don't know how to pronounce this. Mary Han Baker. I think
hmm,
it's Mary Han. Mary Han Baker. Um, yeah, she literally told the parents that like what Chad was doing should deserve should deserve harsh punishment. And it said it often leads to the child not really understanding what they did wrong and repeating the behavior. Like I mean that's true. Like
right,
a lot of things happen and you repeat that. That's kind of like, you know, misbehaving, but Marianne Baker literally told them it was okay for them to receive severe punishment. Like I'm not like talking like,
wow,
normal punishment. It's like harsh, severe punishment.
wow. So she's not a actress, right? Like this
I think yeah,
psychologist, like she's
she's like
actually
a yeah. a
Wow.
legitimate psychologist.
So
Oh,
that
I think they also it's simply concerned.
that's like their solution though, you know what I mean? I feel what okay, how about this? Let's as a team, right? Let's come up with a solution for this poor Chad. Like what would we do to try to teach him and learn it like let him learn a lesson? Like what's the solution for this? Instead of taking the bed away, because I feel like that's all like oh, instead of hitting the child, just take the bed away from him. He'll learn the lesson. That's terrible in my opinion. But what's the solution? Let's think of a solution. What could we say like, here, Chad, you're gonna do this, and we hope you learn your lesson.
Probably, I mean, like take away all his devices and ground him for a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, why not simple stuff like that? Like why does it not work for Chad or does he not like does he not get a say in this? I don't know. Ingrid, what do you think? Like what's the solution for
I
this?
think for the, I mean, it, thinking back about why this had to be discussed in the first place is that he
Yeah.
acted out, and there's obviously a reason why he acted out. I don't like, they said like what he did was that he pointed like a toy gun at his brother's face and then hung his brother off a basketball hoop. I definitely
Oh,
think that there was a reasoning behind it. Like, I'm pretty sure no kid in the right mind would do that to their sibling if they even are a real family. And so, like, I don't know, like I just think that they need to understand their child better. Like, Chad must have a reason. Like, let's hear him out and like
right.
get him the help that he wants. Not that, I mean, I don't think this harsh punishment is gonna cut it for him. Like, he's just
Yeah.
gonna be like, why did this happen?
Maybe he needs to go to a therapist, not a psychologist. Like, I don't know what the psychologist is trying to do, but yeah.
I definitely think that the eight passengers, the parents in that family, should try to understand their kids better because I believe
Yeah.
in one of their videos, they took away their kids' devices and their kids got really upset because they live an hour away from their school where all of their friends are. And so pretty much the only way that they're able to communicate with their friends is through their devices. And the reason that they're living in this house is because their parents made money off of them and they were able to afford a house that was, big and spacious and it happened to be an hour away from their school. So like it's kind of just punishment on top of punishment because you took away their devices, but they can't do anything now. They just have to like stick with each other because they can't communicate with their friends and it must be super hard for them to have to go through that.
I'm for the families who are doing a lot of fun activities that the entire family is involved with, right? But I'm not for the families like this. If there's drama and some weird psychological, like psychologist or therapist needing to be part of this channel, that I'm not for that. That's like private, if like your child is going through therapy, it should not be exposed in social media. That's my position. So you guys can each say like what your position is and the final bottom line. So Ingrid, what do you think?
I definitely think that families, like, they really have to be careful. I think they need to have a discussion and really discuss their values that they want. Like, if you really value privacy, then it's like, is making a YouTube channel the best idea for us? Or I really don't want to make a YouTube channel, but I want to like still be out there, then it's like, well, maybe there are other options. And I also think that the trust between YouTubers and like their subscribers is also incredibly important. Like, at the trust that you build with these people is kind of like you're creating a community among them.
Hmm.
And if you do stuff that hurts, like if the subscribers are like, oh, that's not a good thing, I think it's very important that you also value their opinions because they are essentially the ones who also help you get money.
Right. Yeah. So, what my belief, my final like kind of statement, what takeaway for all of this is there were around 5 factors that you need to keep in mind when you're doing vlog channels. Number one, you should know when to be able to post, when to be able to post content, when to be able to like appropriate times. Like for example, if like something like Black Lives Matter is going on,
Mm-hmm.
then you shouldn't be posting like we went to Hawaii. No, like
Yeah.
don't post that because everyone is focused on Black Lives Matter. You
Right.
don't like you shouldn't be trying to take their attention away from the more important aspect and kind of center your attention to like like what fun things you're doing. Then number two is maintaining privacy. Obviously you should always try your best to maintain as much privacy as possible. You shouldn't be like exposing yourself to private events or like doing that. We touched a lot on that for the final podcast. That was like a big thing. And then number three is keeping it simple. Like you shouldn't go out out of crazy or anything. You should just keep it simple. Number four is like dealing with haters. You should be able to stay safe. You should be able to not like yeah, you should. That's kind of self-explanatory. And you should you know I feel like that's basically it. Maybe like one more thing is like keeping in mind like at the same time you're trying to entertain people, but you should also keep in mind, is it about the money? Like you should be able to like think, is it really about the money, or am I doing this to entertain people? I would say you should pay more attention to other people instead of your money. But at the same time, you should be able, like, if this is your only job that you're working at, this is your only kind of like way to make a living, then obviously you should try your best to like make money off of it. So those are the five factors.
That's that's good. I love how you have like that whole understanding heart of like both sides. That's great. That's great.
Mhm.
I'm kind of on the fence between the two. Should we have family vlog channels or should we not? Because as Rahil said, there are a lot of bad family vlog channels that only do YouTube for the money. And I think, I don't know how to, no one knows how to stop those channels from, happening, because if we see a really interesting title for a video, obviously we're going to click on it. So, and then
Right.
that generates money, and the cycle just keeps going on. They keep making more videos, and it just doesn't work out. But then there are great vlog channels that use, as Rahel said, they use the money as their one source of income, and they do great things for their children. So, I just don't know. I think I'm just right in between both of them.
Well, thank you guys all for coming in today and discussing about whether YouTube family vlog channels should be a thing or not. I definitely think that this will leave a lot of people thinking, like really considering. Yeah, so let's catch you all next time.